Welcome, race fans. Today here, the 60 Plus League is running at Laguna Seca. They are running the Star Mazda and the Renault 2.0. And I have Jeff Dotson in the booth here helping me commentate today. Welcome, Jeff, and good to have you, brother.
Yep, thank you, Rudy. Good to be here with this race today. Man, these guys have had awesome races throughout their season here. Fantastic races to watch, and I think it's going to be another treat today here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Well, they are out qualifying right now, so we're waiting. They got 10 minutes to qualify. All right. It'll take them a little while to get around here and turn some laps. And he just cut that down to a 120.38. So he actually bettered his time on the second lap. So great. Kartner in third, Costello fourth, and Bruce Poole rounding out the top five so far.
Yeah, and third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Their lap times are relatively close to one another, so I think this will be a very close race today.
Yeah, I never realized it. I know we talk about this every week, but I never realized how close these two cars were in lap times, I should say, because now the Renault is not as good in the turns as the Star Mazda, but they're faster on the straightaways. Now this track doesn't really have a whole bunch of straightaways. The front stretch is quite long, and I think there's one on the back that's a little bit long too. So Most of it's going to be right and left-hand turning.
Yeah. Very, very movable track here with a lot of turns, and drivers today are going to have to watch. They call the corkscrew here. That corner can eat you up if you don't hit it just right, and that turn's just treacherous. It kind of off cambered at the top, and then kind of back into that at the bottom. But if you hit the top wrong, you can go into the sand trap, lose it, and it can just upset your whole race if you take that corner incorrectly.
And you don't want to go straight, because if you go straight, you're cutting the course. You got to slow down, and that costs you a lot of time on the track too. So hopefully we don't see that happen today. I think these guys are good enough that they usually put on a good enough show. I don't think we're going to see that today. If we do, it'd be totally by accident.
Yeah.
Actually, pretty close times are about a second and a half from 1st to 15th. That's pretty close times.
Yeah, very close.
Well, I hope everybody enjoys the show here today. If it's your first time here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the video. Give us a like. I appreciate that very much. These guys would appreciate it too. Kind of cool to have fans here that follow with the 60-plus guys. These guys are all over 60 years old. It's a minimum age you got to be in the league, 60-plus. And I do know one gentleman told me he was 78 years old in here. So that kind of goes to show you that these guys still got the racing abilities and the skills, even at 78 years old, to go out here and turn laps on a track like Laguna Seca. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, just a few seconds left here of qualifying, and then we'll be on to the grid here. We'll get everybody accounted for. All right, that's going to wrap up qualifying. Let's get everybody down here on the grid. And it looks like they are going to have a pace lap today. That's cool. All right, starting on the pole, John Unsby, driving a Monza today in the number 61 with a 1 minute 20.382 second lap. Congratulations to him for grabbing the pole. Andy Morgan will start on the outside of the front row. Stephen Kartner third. Bruce Poole starting fourth. David Sostello in fifth. Marcel how did we say that? Gutierrez
Gutierrez
will start sixth place. Ronald McManus 7th, Richard Columby in 8th place, Joel Martin starting 9th, Edward Hamburger 10th. Jeff?
We got Host Vandeven starting in 11th, John Morgan in 12th, Jim Oliver will start in 13th, Kenneth Baldwin in 14th, Andrew Fiddler will start in 15th, Mats Showbloom will start 16th, Jose Carlos Campadonico will start 17th, Gianni Raspaldo will start in 18th, and Michael Key will start in 19th.
Very good. Yeah, Donald Strout is the admin in there, and I am the broadcaster. So, all right, here we go. Getting them wound up. Nice size field. But 19 drivers taken to the grid.
Yes, sir.
Kind of find it hard to believe that they make them go clear around one full lap. Usually they'll start like on the back stretch at some of these road courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's what I was kind of wondering too.
Making them go a whole full lap. Wow. Well, Jeff, you want to get them going?
Sure.
Pace car's in.
All right, and there's the green flag. We're underway here at Laguna Seca. Good start there by John Unsby in the 61 car, and he's leaving these guys in the dust already as they head into turn one.
Waiting for this to get sorted out. There we go. Andy Morgan, second place. Kartner kind of holding some cars back here. Looks like Sustello is on his tail. Bruce Poole, fifth place. Loses one position there. I believe Sustello got by him on, yes he did, on that start. Sustello off the track, just a little, on them rumble strips. Back in the field, Kenneth Baldwin, excuse me, 13th place.
Yeah, I think today, Rudy, we'll see a couple of drivers and a couple of turns kind of running off there on the sides, getting into the sand a little bit. I've noticed that's kind of the racing line around Laguna Seca here that some of the guys actually, tend to use those rumble strips up and some parts of the sand right there at the rumble strip. So we might see a little bit of that today here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Matt Schobloom in 16th, right where he started. Campadonico, 17th. Michael Key, which started 21st, is up to 18th. And Gianni Raspaldo in 19th. Taking his time right now. But boy, the leader out here starting to put a little distance on second place, Andy Morgan.
He got the really good race start that he needed. And it's contributing to his racing right now here as he's out in front.
Into the corkscrew they go. Down the hill, around the turns, and just a tight S right there for them guys. Comes out of it looking good, though. He's even pulled away even further now, Jeff.
Yeah.
Got a 1 second lead over Andy Morgan.
Yeah, so it's 2 Star Mazdas out front, and in third, Stephen Kartner. He is driving a Formula Renault 2.0.
He's pulling away from Sostello. Sostello was on his tail there for the longest time, and it seems like Kartner has picked it up a pace here, and he is closing in on Andy Morgan for second.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's really starting to figure out Formula Renault around Laguna Seca here. And, as we talked about earlier there at the start of the race, we were saying that the Star Mazdas are better in the corners, but the Formula Renaults are better on the straightaways. So that's why we were thinking the Formula Renault might be kind of, bet its match today because this track doesn't have a lot of straightaways except for the front stretch. But we could be wrong. I think this Formula Renault back here, Stephen Kartner, is putting on some pressure here for these 2 Star Mazdas in front of him.
No, Andy Morgan has closed the gap up just a little bit now on John Unsby. He's got it back down to about 0.6 of a second there. Closing up even more, down to 0.4. They've got a little heat build up in them tires now, Jeff, and they're starting to feel a little bit more grip, a little bit more confidence in making the turns better. So
exactly.
I think we're going to probably see 1 pit stop here today. It's quite a distance around here. I believe they only run 50% fuel, if I'm not correct.
I think that's Star Mazdas because I'm showing here, I come in under the watch tab with the Formula Renault, and underneath the description here, it's not showing a fuel limit to these cars.
Okay.
So,
Partner into third. One of the fastest guys out there in practice, but hasn't been able to get close enough to the front to take over the lead. Costello, he's still got Bruce Poole on his tail.
Yeah, he does. Wow. This is a battle for position here between these two. And right behind these two, we've got Ronald McManus running in 6th place. And then behind him, we've got Marcel Gutierrez running in 7th.
Right on board here with Stephen Kartner, driving the Renault 2.0 today. Trying to keep up with them Star Mazdas, and he's not having quite as easy a time as you would think he would.
No, he isn't. Yeah, I think the Star Mazdas are just a little bit more adapted to this track than the Formula Renault. As we said, the Star Mazdas do have a little bit of better cornering than what the Formula Renault has, but the Formula Renault does have better straight line speeds and acceleration and handability. But man, I tell you, these are a great group of cars to be racing together, and I tell you, it gives you a challenge if you're behind the Formula Renault. I probably think that's why these guys chose the Formula Renault over the Star Mazda, just that it does have a little bit more of a challenge than what the Star Mazda does.
Michael Key goes back to last place, getting passed up by Gianni Rosbaldo. Is running about 36 seconds behind the leader right now. That's equates out to almost about a third of a lap behind.
Yeah, wow.
$15 laps
Crazy
to go.
when you think about that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ghost Vandeven has come up to the 8th position now after starting in 11th.
Joel Martin hanging on to 9th. Still hanging in there. He's got Edward Hamburger pretty close to him there in 10th place. I guess I never realized that these Mazdas were that fast.
Oh, I didn't either, to be honest. But I've driven the Mazdas, numerous amounts of times, and and I've also driven the Formula Renault a little bit too. And to compare them both, the Star Mazdas, they hook up at a lot of tracks very nicely, and have a great sense of handling, and they're very easy to handle. The Formula Renault, some tracks it's the same aspect. There's also some tracks it's you got to learn it a little bit. It is a little more difficult. So, but yeah, as I said, I never thought that they were this close match.
Kenneth Baldwin picking up a couple of positions since the beginning of the race, up to 12th.
Yes, sir. And then I'm also looking here at the number 6 car, Richard Columbi, who has some damage on the front wing there. He started 8th, and he's currently running back in 15th. So he's been into something.
Yeah, I seen him off the track there earlier. I think he spun and got into the wall. I don't know how much damage it did, but yeah, it looks pretty significant on that front wing, and that's got to be affecting the handling of it, Jeff.
Yeah, especially these open wheel Formula style cars that have their wings built shaped like this. You get any type of damage on that rear front wing, and you just lose downforce tremendously on these cars.
Yeah, we can see quite a bit of damage there on the left front. It's got to be affecting just how that car's handling. So what I'm concerned with is, did it knock the toe out, or did it hit the wheel or anything? And is he struggling with that car right now with handling issues?
Yeah, the way that front wing's knocked in, it's more than likely giving him some handling issues there. These Formula style race cars are finely tuned machines, and I mean you could just get like a small little scratch, like a small little piece on that front wing knocked off, and it'll just make that car feel weird. With Formula One cars or anything like that, they get just a little bit of damage, and it loses downforce. The wing mainly has to stay intact to keep that car, top-notch speeds and handling.
Well, it's been all Lunsby up front. That makes lap number 8. He's led.
Yeah, we had a wreck right in front of Richard Columbi right there in the corkscrew. Oh no.
Boy.
Yeah, I believe that was Jim Oliver and Andrew Fiddler. Yes, it was. They got some contact there going into the corkscrew.
Well, it must be all right. They got it going again.
Looks like Jim Oliver is coming pit road.
Yes, he is. And get that car looked at, top it off with fuel, some fresh tires on it. Probably use this reset here. If he's got any damage, I mean, I would definitely use it.
Oh yeah.
And he did. Used his
And
reset.
they have no limit on resets. So if he gets damaged again, he can come right back in and get that repaired.
Right. Well, he's back away, but he's going to go back clear to the tail end of the field now. Back up front, Unsby, Morgan, and Karkner. These three have been out front since the beginning of the race. 1, 2, 3, showing the way. Fourth place is 7 seconds behind him, Bruce Poole.
Wow, yeah, just a few laps ago, Bruce was racing there. I believe it was with Steven Kartner, and man, he's lost so much position now, or so much ground on him. Wow.
Ooh, Ronald McManus. Something happened there.
Uh-oh.
He's on pit road now.
Yes, he is.
What happened there?
Yeah, he was just racing with a group of guys there. I wonder what happened.
Didn't see what happened.
Ooh. Yeah, coming out of the second to last corner there, he did run a little wide and got off into the sand there, but he didn't really get no damage on the car. And he hit the rumble strip there on the last corner, and then he just pulled it off on the track and towed the pit lane. So, interesting. What happened there? There was really no damage on the car.
I'll tell you what, Kartner is all over the back of Morgan right now, and I'm a little concerned about what's going on here because Morgan was a lot faster, and now he's kind of falling back a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering if his tires might be starting to wear.
Yeah, it could be. I had that same thought. Ooh. He could be having some handling issues here. I do see he does have some front wing damage as well. Not as bad as
I see that.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as who was that? Richard Columbia. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as his wing damage, but I think it's still bad enough that it might be giving you some handling issues there in a 58 machine.
Costello. And Marcel's right behind him. These two in a pretty tight battle. Joost van der Ven coming from 11th up to 7th. Definitely moved forward.
I see on the iRacing chat, Ronald McManus did take his car behind the wall.
Yeah.
But it looks like the reason for him stopping was he said he lost his in-sim sound. So something went wrong with the sim there, and he lost the sound.
Okay. But yeah, he is back out there on the track now, though. Coming back out.
I've actually had that happen to me once, too. For some reason, exiting the sim and coming right back in fixed it. So I'm really not sure, what causes that, but it has happened before to me as well. So
Yeah, I think it's an AMD thing. I was joking, Jeff.
well, actually, that wasn't on the. To be honest, that wasn't on this computer that happened. It was on my old computer. It had the NVIDIA cards.
I know. I was joking.
I know.
It's probably something with Windows. You never know. It's a computer. You never know.
As we say, computers are a mystery. They can be working great one day, the next day they could be sick, and the next day after that they could be working just fine again.
Let's see. Edward Hamburger just barely ahead of John Morgan. Morgan coming from 12th up to 10th.
Yes. Ooh.
And there he goes. He's passing him up. Morgan goes around Hamburger.
That was like one of those rocket boost passes, man. He turned the DRS on or something.
Marcel goes around in the corkscrew.
Uh-oh.
But he didn't hit anything. Lost a couple of positions, but he's all right.
That's great. Yeah, these guys have been really taking that corkscrew very good today here. I figured that, this was the first person I saw that's, gotten kind of, loose in that. But, yeah, these guys have been doing great so far.
Andrew Fiddler all over Richard Columby here. That would be for 12th position. Columby's got that little bit of damage on the front. I'm just wondering if that may be affecting, while we were talking about how that might have been affecting the downforce on that front. And if that car is pushing a little bit, maybe in the turns, Andrew Fiddler could take advantage of that when the opportunity comes. They still got 8 laps to go, lots of racing to go. Unsby's still in the lead by 1.3 or 1.4 seconds over Andy Morgan. They're coming up on, oh no, I'm sorry, that was not him. They're coming up on Ronald McManus, which is a lap down already, but the leader is not far behind him. And that'll put him 2 laps down.
Yeah, I'm also looking here at David Costello's car. He now has almost the same amount of damage that we've seen Richard Columby have on his wing. So he's gotten some more damage picked up there in the last couple laps.
Yeah, some of that could be if they run off into the dirt. Sometimes that can do damage to these cars,
yes.
Especially them wings. They're very, very fragile.
Very.
And just the right bump, running off the track and hitting the right bump sometimes will do damage to them things. So that's why you got to be very, very careful and keep them on that asphalt at all costs.
Exactly. Yeah, these finely tuned race cars, they're, you just get a small little beating from them. They could just, knock the toe out, just a little bit, but that little bit could still cost, your car, speed or, handling. So, yeah.
Joel Martin coming from 9th up to 7th. He's trying to run down Joost van der Ven. Van der Ven, man, probably the biggest mover today, coming from 11th up to 6th.
Yeah, he's almost picked up half his spots. Oh, he has, yeah. So, big move for Joost today.
Six laps to go. We'll get a word in with the winner here at the end.
And John Unsby's car has just been one fast machine today. He's been out front for the whole thing so far.
Unsby's still trying to get around Ronald McManus. Looks like he is going to be able to do it. He clears him. Andy Morgan now coming up on McManus. And he is 2.2 seconds behind the leader at the moment. And all John Unsby out front for 14, coming to 15 laps that he's led so far in this race.
Yeah.
5 laps to go when he crosses the line, folks. Five more circuits around Laguna Seca. 60-plus league, folks. If you think you're over 60 and you think you want to race with these guys, look them up on iRacing directory. 60-plus league. That's a 60, not the 60 spelled out. 60-plus league. And yeah, send them a request to join the league. Pretty good bunch of guys, I'll tell you that. Guys are really, they're laid back and they're cool about things. They don't get all aggravated and agitated about stuff. So
and they're a great bunch of guys to race. They put on great shows every time.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Fun to watch them, drive these Formula Renaults and Star Mazdas.
I'll tell you what, Andy Morgan's chopping that time down on Unsby because he was 2.3 seconds back, and because Unsby got trapped in behind a couple lap cars, he lost a lot of time there, and Andy Morgan closed that gap.
I tell you, this track is just being rough on these cars today, especially on the left side. I'm seeing most of the damage accumulate on these cars be on that left front wing.
Bruce Poole, 4th place, 7 seconds back. David Sostello in 5th. Joost van der Ven in 6th place. I don't really see any close racing going on right now. John Morgan and Kenneth Baldwin, those two somewhat close together. About a half a second. Oh, make that a couple of tenths now.
Yeah. I said the closest probably would be Richard Columbia and Andrew Fiddler. These two are pretty close to each other here.
Yes, sir.
It's a little way. Fiddler having a great run today and not really seeing too much damage to his 21 Star Mazda there.
Matt Schobloom and Gianni Rosbaldo.
Yeah.
These two really racing it up here. Well, they know the clock's ticking, time is running out, laps are winding down, and what they're going to make a move, they've got to make it quick. Schobloom's really doing a great job. They come from 16th up to 14th. Gianni pulls out, trying to catch him down the front stretch here. Pretty evenly matched so far. Going to try to maybe catch him going into turn 1, outbrake him. Not going to happen. He will hold on to that position for the time being.
Yeah, this is a good race between these two.
And Andy Morgan has fallen back to 2.5 seconds behind the leader again.
Oh, no.
And he's going to have to be careful because Stephen Cartner's right there.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, and if he makes another mistake, Steven could just get him just like that. So, yeah, he's got to, keep on his toes here within these closing laps to, make sure he can keep Steven behind him. They do have a lap down car in between them, Ronald McManus.
Yeah. I just seen Richard Columbi take it to pit road.
Yes, he did.
What's going on there? I think he was off track again or something. He's on pit road.
Oh, yeah, he was off track there. Let's see, coming out the last corner there. Oh, he just lost it, and he hit the inside wall that protects the track from pit road. Ooh, ouch. That puts some more wing damage on the front of that car because the front end hit the wall. So, man, tough break for Richard today. Started 8th,
and he's dropping now. Schobloom goes up to 13th because of that. After starting 16th.
Yeah, Richard will drop to 17th, 1 lap down.
And he's still sitting on pit road. I don't know what happened there. That's kind of odd. Jim Oliver goes a lap down.
Oh, yeah, just back right there. Back here on this lap right here before they start the new one, we had Jose Carlos Campadonico losing it and coming off the track too.
Andy Morgan now 3.2 seconds behind John Unsby. So he's losing time now.
Yes, he is.
We've only seen a couple of guys come to pit road. Other than that, nobody's been to pit road.
I think they're going to be able to go the full distance here on the tank of fuel.
Yeah, you surely wouldn't want to stop now, not with coming to 1 to go this time by for John Unsby. Andy Morgan's 2.8 seconds behind him. White flag in the air, folks. 1 more lap. Guys that are still trying to make something happen here. David Sostello trying to stay ahead of Joost van der Ven. Van der Ven probably the biggest mover out there today. Joel Martin, 7th place. Nobody around him. Other than that, I don't really see any battles going on right at the moment. Everybody's pretty much away from each other. Andy Morgan and Stephen Kartner pretty close together, about 3/4 of a second. If something's going to happen, boy, they got to make it happen now.
Yes, sir.
Here comes John Unsby down through the corkscrew for the final time. Just a couple of more turns, and he will bring it to victory lane here. 2.7 seconds ahead of second place, Andy Morgan. It looks like Morgan is going to hold on to second unless he makes a mistake. But bringing it home here today, John Unsby for the victory. Congratulations to John Unsby. Great job.
Yep, and Andy Morgan will finish second. Stephen Kartner in third.
All right, we'll get down here in just a second. We'll give them time for these guys to finish the race up, Jeff, and we'll run down through the final results here real quick while they're doing that, because there's still a lot of guys out there racing. John Unsby coming home with the win here. Andy Morgan second. Stephen Kartner third. Bruce Poole will finish fourth. David Sustello fifth. Judge Vanderven in sixth place. Joel Martin finishing seventh. Edward Hamburger eighth. Marcelo Gutierrez.
Yeah, Gutierrez
finishing ninth. Andrew Fiddler 10th. Jeff.
Yep, we got John Morgan finishing 11th tonight. Kenneth Baldwin will finish in 12th. Mats Schobloom will finish 13th. Gianni Rospaldo will finish in 14th. Jim Oliver in 15th. Michael Key in 16th. Jose Carlos Capadonico will finish in 17th. Ronald McManus in 18th. And Richard Colombi in 19th.
Very good. All right, very good. And again, congratulations for our winner here. But let's see if we can get down here and get a word in with him.
Around for an interview. You guys did a masterful job. All three of you drove masterfully. I was really impressed with all of you. Andy, congratulations for driving with all that pain, and Steve, you really hung in with those Mazdas today. I was impressed.
Heck, how come my mic's muted?
Very good race, Andy. I was trying to catch you the whole way.
My mic's muted.
Oh, yeah. Had to work hard to keep you behind me there, Stephen. That was hard going. I got to admit, the last couple of laps I was seeing double just about. But I was never so glad to see a checkered flag, I got to admit.
You weren't seeing double, Andy. You were seeing all the back markers, and we were trying to get through them.
John Unsby, you got a copy?
Yeah, sure do.
Well, John, you led all the way from green flag to checkered flag. Tell us about the racing and just how much pressure Andy Morgan was keeping on you.
Well, a lot. I knew from our first practice race last week that he was, capable of passing me at any time. This time he didn't get quite as close as he did that time, but he was half second behind for most of the race. And towards the end there, when we got into traffic, I was able to pull away a little bit.
Well, I guess congratulations are in order for you here today to winning at Laguna Seca. Tell us about the car track combination out here. Was it a good match today?
What was Andy driving? Was he in a Mazda or was he in a Renault? I don't know. I've been fast for the two practice sessions. I ran this track back in the 70s when it didn't have the current configuration, didn't have all that infield section, but as far as this particular setup has really suited me, and I congratulate Don on it. As far as the Renault, I don't know. I didn't drive it here.
Well, I believe Andy Morgan finished in second with a Mazda as well. So Star Mazdas did quite well here today, even though the Renaults got a little bit more straightaway speed. You guys could beat them in the corners. So pretty good match out there today. Congratulations on your victory, John. You got anybody you want to shout out to or thank?
Yeah, well, like before, my cartoon pit crew, or my invisible pit crew, and all the cartoon fans for coming out and supporting us, and MaxTV for broadcasting. Thanks a lot.
All right, John, thank you very much.
Max Speed, I mean.
All right, Jeff. Well, that'll wrap it up for today. Thank you for helping out. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us here for broadcast on MaxSpeedTV. Until next time, stay safe and have a good afternoon.